Comap presents Basic Modbus in Comap Controls, Part 1. I am going to talk about Modbus in Comap Controls. Aim of this video is to give you information where you can find necessary information to be able to program Modbus communication, how to set up a control for Modbus communication, how to read a value from a controller, and how to change a setpoint setting. This video is about register-oriented Modbus in Comap controls. It is supported in these Comap controls: IGNT, ISNT and IMNT, ILNT, ICNT and IANT, and ID Mobile, ID DCU and ID Lite. For information about Modbus communication with IGCU, ISCU and ILCU controls, see in Telecommunication Guide from February 2005. Information resources for Modbus programming. Two information resources are necessary for Modbus communication programming. In Telecommunication Guide, Modbus description for Comap controls is part of the manual. The latest version of the manual is available for download on the Comap website. List of Modbus registers. Use control configuration software, e.g. GenConfig, to obtain the list. Content of the list depends on control configuration. Be aware that the list content may be different after changes in control configuration are done. I am going to show you how to get the list of Modbus registers for Comap controls. You don't need to be directly connected to a control to get the list. You just need a control configuration file. I am going to show you how to do that with GenConfig and the ISNT controller. I am in GenConfig and I am going to generate the Modbus registers list for the current configuration. Go to File, select Generate CFG Image and pick either Modbus registers all or Modbus registers used. I would like to save Modbus registers used. This list contains only registers which are used by current control configuration. Select file location and save it then. Registers list is displayed immediately after saving. You can generate the list in the same way in LightEdit and DriveConfig configuration tools. The only difference in LightEdit is that Generate CFG Image option is part of the control menu. It is necessary to set control for Modbus communication. Go to Setpoints, Communication Settings and set up one of the serial ports for Modbus communication. Use option Modbus Direct for direct Modbus connection to either RS-232 or RS-485 control interface. Select Modbus MDM if you would like to use Modbus communication via a modem. I am going to use Modbus Direct connection. Use this setpoint to select Modbus communication speed. I am going to use 9600 bits per second speed. You can use either RS-232 or RS-485 interface for Modbus communication. Use the setpoint to select interface. Setting disabled means that RS-232 is used. Enabled means that built-in RS-485 converter is used for Modbus communication. See Control Reference Guide for additional information about setpoint setting. You can set control for modbus communication either directly from the control panel, or you can use a PC tool for that. Analog inputs reading. I would like to show you how to read control analog inputs values using one modbus command. Modbus registers list contains this information about control analog inputs. Column registers gives you information about the register address. Column len length contains information about length of data. 2 means that data length is 2 bytes. It is one modbus register. DEC gives you information about number of decimal places. It means that oil pressure is 2 bars if you read 20 from the oil pressure register. I would like to read all 4 analog inputs using one modbus command. It means that I need to read 4 registers starting with register number 40016. Register address is 15 then. Command for analog inputs reading consists of these parts: control address, modbus function number, register address, number of registers, and cyclical redundancy check. Complete request is: let's read control analog inputs now. This is IntelliMonitor, and I am going to read control analog inputs values, which you can see here. This is Modbus terminal window, and I am going to send analog inputs reading request. Let's insert control address first, Modbus registers reading function, first register address, and number of registers I would like to read. Okay, here you can see the first register, and this is the last one. It is secondary water temperature. Its value is 49 in the hexadecimal system. It is 73 in the decimal system. You can see it matches this value. Oil pressure value is the first register. The value is 17 in the hexadecimal system, and it is 23 in the decimal system. Registers list contains information that it has 1 decimal place. It means that I have read oil pressure value 2.3 bar. End of part 1. This video continues with Basic Modbus in Comap controls, part 2.